I got into acupuncture because I was really interested in helping my community, but I wasn't sure how to do that. I was working in a health food store in Derby, Vermont, and I came across a book about natural living, and it talked about a school, Bastyr University in Seattle, that's offered naturopathic medicine, acupuncture, and nutrition. So I left Vermont and I went out to Seattle and enrolled in Bastyr. And while I was getting ready to get into Bastyr, I took a couple of prerequisites because there's lots of requirements to starting this graduate degree program. And I took a class in Tai Chi. And Tai Chi is that real slow moving exercise where it moves energy between your hands. And that was it. I was sold. I absolutely wanted to study anything about East Asian medicine and energy. And that's where I found acupuncture. Bastyr University offered a Master's of Science in Acupuncture Medicine. It was a 3.5-year degree program, and that's how I got into acupuncture. One of my favorite things to treat is sciatica. It's something that people come in with in so much pain, and it's also something we treat really frequently in our office. I can think of one case where someone came in hardly able to walk. They were using a walker in order to get in, and this was a healthy 40-something-year-old guy. Had never experienced back pain before, didn't even have a history of injuries in his back, and was having sciatica. So this is the pinch of the sciatic nerve coming from the very low back, and it can often trigger pain all the way down the leg, even to the foot. And so this guy was just limping in. I got him on the table. I did acupuncture on him. About 3 treatments later, over the course of a week, it was gone. And this is pretty common. We treat sciatica almost every day, and it's really common for people to be able to get rid of it really quickly. I've been practicing just about 20 years now, and this clinic in Montpelier is kind of the culmination of my dreams of putting together a wellness center in Vermont. I left Vermont about 25 years ago to go to acupuncture school, and it was always my dream to come back here and set up a wellness clinic. And here it is. We're in downtown Montpelier, which is where I used to work as a waitress. And I'm back here now, and we have this beautiful wellness center where we're able to offer acupuncture and massage therapy. We even brought a flotation tank in, which comes from my own experience having tried flotation therapy and just finding it to be one of the most relaxing experiences that I ever had in the healing arts. And I just knew that our community would just love it here in Vermont. So the way acupuncture works, it's pretty similar to if you get a splinter. If you get a splinter in your finger and leave it in there, the body's going to try to push it out. And that's because the brain recognizes the splinter as a foreign object. And so it increases the circulation of blood and relaxes the muscles and tendons all around that foreign object. Same thing happens with an acupuncture needle. These teeny tiny stainless steel needles go into the body, and the muscles relax, the tendons relax, the blood circulation increases around that area, and you get pain relief. Simultaneously, the brain is responding to the acupuncture. It releases dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. And this is just a happy, natural cocktail from your brain, making you feel really relaxed and pain-free. I can totally relate to being afraid of needles. I'm afraid of needles. In fact, my very first interview with my school, Bastyr, they asked me to explain my experience having had acupuncture because it was the 90s and mostly people getting into acupuncture had had some miraculous healing experience with it. Not me. I was really into it for the theory and all about energy. I had never had acupuncture and I never wanted to. I was really nervous about it. But the interviewees said I absolutely had to try acupuncture if I was going to go to acupuncture school. So I went and had my first treatment right after my interview. And it turns out these teeny tiny needles are about the size of a human hair. They're not at all like a hypodermic needle, like a shot or a blood draw. They're super, super small, and I didn't even feel them going in. What I felt was the relaxation. I was more surprised that they were going to let me drive afterwards because I was so relaxed than worrying about the needles at all. So one of my favorite things to treat is fertility. I absolutely love working with parents that are having a difficult time conceiving. I too had a hard time getting pregnant with my first child, and acupuncture helped me a lot. Through that struggle, I also learned a lot about how to treat fertility issues. And so I can help folks that have either have a diagnosis, maybe PCOS, or another diagnosis that leads to fertility issues, or I can complement with what they're doing doing with assisted reproductive therapies. So a lot of people come to us when they're going through IUI or IVF, and we work with them to get their body in balance and to create blood flow in the uterus, to create a nice thick lining for an implantation to happen. And then a lot of times people continue to see me throughout their entire pregnancies. We can help with maintaining the pregnancy, we can help with side effects like morning sickness. And then at the end of pregnancy, we see a lot of people. This is for helping the labor get going, an induction, helping with turning a breech position baby, and just helping mom to relax as much as possible to get ready for labor. Acupuncture is a great part of your wellness routine. You don't have to just come in when you have a problem going on, because with every insertion of the needle, there's an increase of white blood cells produced, and that's your immune function. So to have acupuncture a couple of times a year is just going to in general help with your immunity and general sense of well-being. Then there's also that part that causes you to feel really relaxed during acupuncture. Producing extra dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins is really good for you to every once in a while just have a tune-up and relax really deeply. We have 5 seasons in traditional Chinese medicine. So in addition to fall and winter and spring and summer, we also have a late summer season. So we recommend that people come in 5 times a year, even if it's just for maintenance. So part of my history is that I used to work on cruise ships. I was really lucky. There was a new program where they were trying out, would people try acupuncture while they were vacationing on board a cruise ship? And I got offered to travel around South America and do acupuncture. And I thought, perfect. I went on board cruise ships, and it turned out with the right education, people are willing to try acupuncture. And wouldn't you know it, their ankle pain went away, their back pain went away, they felt more relaxed, and then they told everyone else on the ship, so they would come to me and try acupuncture. It worked so well that eventually I moved to corporate and implemented acupuncture on hundreds of cruise ships around the world. It was a great experience, and I had a great time exposing as many people as possible to acupuncture.